Hello, TFG listeners. I would like to welcome you to our podcast, Situational Awareness. As always, I'm Prisa 101, or Kirk, and joining me is my co-host, Blogschnarb, or Eric, to provide you with the answers to problems that you never knew existed. But with that, let's get on with today's show. Eric?
Yes.
The car morality issue. How do we solve the issue with self-driving cars? What's the answer?
What do you mean? What issue?
Well, the classic kid in the brick wall situation.
I'm gonna need more than this.
It sounds way worse than it is. No, it's the whole who gets to dictate the morality of self-driving cars when we get to that point.
What do you mean morality?
The morality is if if there's like some sort of fatal flaw with the car, where the car is like put into a situation where it has to make a choice on someone's life, like the passenger or like say a pedestrian or another car.
Okay.
What does it choose? Like who is going to set these rules? And is there an answer? Like, is there like a concrete, I mean, obviously there's no concrete answer, but what do we do?
There's never a set answer. It always depends on the situation. Like if generally when these situations are given, it'll be like, do you take the one life or the two lives, or the one or the three, whatever. They'll do like an equal amount of lives. But then, obviously you're gonna pick save whatever saves more lives.
Yeah.
But then they start throwing in like, what if
like murder in the road?
Yeah, what if it's a
or what if
murderer, like Hitler or whatever.
Super Hitler.
Right, super Hitler with a machine gun, who knows? Anyway, the car can't determine that. Like nobody can possibly know that like while you're driving, like just by looking at the other.
Say there's facial recognition on the car.
No, still.
No, even
no.
so, so the car knows it's Hitler in the road right now. Like this car is barreling down the road at a normal, let's say malfunction speed, 88 miles per hour. Because you once told me that if you're going fast enough, you shouldn't even get a ticket. Like say the car is going like faster than normal, uncontrollable down the road, but it's still like, technology is really fast. Like it still sees that it's Hitler that it's about to hit with the car.
Okay, and what is the other thing that it's gonna hit?
A wall, killing the passenger 100%. And the passenger is Abraham Lincoln.
I didn't know for a fact that it's Hitler, and it knows who Hitler is.
Yeah.
And it knows that Hitler's dead.
This is a world where Hitler stayed alive.
Oh, so it's a much different world. Okay.
Yeah. Now he didn't succeed, but
so how does it know that he's bad?
Oh wait, interesting. That is interesting though. So what if it's just a Hitler lookalike? What if Hitler is dead and it's a Hitler lookalike? All
right, let's get back to reality for a second here. All right, so how do we choose what the car hits? Generally, you're gonna choose whatever saves the most lives in this situation. But the problem with that is sometimes you can't tell how many people's lives are in danger. Like if there's a car to the side, you might not be able to see everybody who's in that car. You might see like a sedan or like a minivan or something, but you don't know how many people are actually in the car.
Well,
you might see a bus.
In theory, like this is a networked system, so like the cars can kind of communicate with each other. So in my mind,
so in that situation, none of these cars will ever be in an accident because they'll all know where the other cars are at all points in time.
That's not necessarily true though, because malfunctions can happen. So like technical malfunctions in theory, like say an axle, I don't know, like something happens and like the wheel falls off or the engine explodes. God knows, whatever it may be, some sort of mechanical failure that the program can't.
So if we're getting like that technologically advanced where every car knows what the other cars are doing at all points in time, then I assume we'll have a system in place where when you get in your car, you put in who's in the car with you at that time. Like if you're driving your kids, you're gonna say like me, my two kids, and the car will know who you guys are. It'll have you saved as like preset people, and your car will have that information inside it, and it'll go, okay, there's 3 people in this car, 2 children. It'll assign everybody like numbers on how valuable they are to society or something, and then it'll choose based on who's in what car on what side and everything like that.
I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to put in who's in the car. Like, oh, this is Timmy, my 4-year-old, who does really well in school and makes mommy really proud. I mean, it could just detect like by body weight, like, oh, this is a 70-pound kid, or
okay, so it could be an 100-pound fat kid, or it could be like an 100-pound old lady who's crippled.
Who you kill, the 100-pound fat like 8-year-old or whoever, whatever,
or the 100-pound 90-year-old lady who doesn't have legs anymore. I mean, you can't go by weight.
All right, fine. So you think that's what we would do in this world? We'd like you'd enter in when you get in the car, like I'm in the car right now, and I'm sitting with Bob. He's kind of a piece of shit. We don't like Bob. He kind of looks at kids a weird way that no one should. Like how detailed is this car?
Well, entry? I mean, you'll have your like preset people. Like your kids, your family. People who use the car often. For you'd have me in your car because whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
what about, like, random people you wouldn't expect? Like, say me and you go
well, so
out
then
and,
you'd
like,
have
all
to,
of a
like, enter
sudden
their data quick, like, maybe you
okay.
can have, like, a friend association thing, or you can, like, pull their information from,
That'd be
their phone
really
number
cool if we
on
had,
your
like, a
phone.
QR code on your phone, and you just kinda
Yeah,
scan it, it goes to your car, but you can't control what that person has on their phone technically, so he can be like he can make himself sound like a saint, he's
sure,
great,
yeah.
like, he could kinda, like, diddle kids, but, he writes down that he goes to church every Sunday and,
Well, I
he
mean, I'm
gives to
sure
the
this will be
poor.
associated with the police stuff.
I mean, what if they don't know that?
Well, then the
He
guy's
does it
gonna
on
get
the
away with it.
download. He's gonna get away with it? Wow.
Yeah.
And then we get the malfunction problem. Listen, I am all how do you feel about self-driving? Do you feel like that's the future?
I hate driving.
Well, I know you hate driving, but I wasn't sure
I have no issue being in a car, I just don't wanna be the one responsible.
if there's, like, some sort of manufacturer failing.
Sure, yeah, like any issue, like I don't want that on my conscience for the rest of my life. So if a car is driving me and the car gets in an accident and my car kills somebody else, but I'm not driving it, that's
Mhm.
not my conscience. Like, yeah, that sucks,
Really?
but like
You
I
wouldn't I mean,
didn't do that,
you still purchased that though. You
but
still, like,
it's
decided to
not
get
my
behind the
fault.
wheel. It's not your fault, man.
If I'm driving the car and I lose control of the car and I drive into a bus and kill 17 kids, that's on my conscience for the rest of my life. If I buy a car and my car is driving itself and I'm taking a nap in the passenger seat and my car decides it's gonna go on a killing rampage,
Yeah?
that's not my
It just puts
fault.
on, like, a little bandana, pulls out a knife, and it just goes
Yeah,
crazy like Rambo.
it's, headlights switch to machine guns, the tires have flamethrowers on them, the trunk opens up and it starts laying out spikes in the back.
Like a James Bond car all of a sudden. You're
Yeah,
like your
yeah,
normal
that's
little
pretty much what I was
sedan your
envisioning,
little
yeah.
sedan just turns into like a James
I
Bond
actually
car.
pulled most of that out of a James Bond game, yeah.
Oh, man. So, I think I would still feel kinda guilty if even if
Kinda guilty, sure, but, like, I would be sad about it. It would definitely, like, eat me up for a week or a month or 2, but it wouldn't ruin my life.
how long till we get to that point?
I don't think it's in our lifetimes.
You don't think it's in our lifetime?
I think we have self-driving cars in our lifetimes, but I don't think we have.
Pretty much do.
Right, but I mean, like, the cars will drive themselves the whole way.
I feel like we have the capability for it now, it's just between legislation and the for these reasons that I'm listing right now, it's like there's
Right, well,
so
so
many
the problem is
variables.
everybody would have to have it for it to be really safe. Otherwise,
You think we
it
don't
has
have
to
it
make that
available
decision for
until,
us.
like, the barrier of cost where it's just so cheap and, like,
Right.
standard in every
Yeah,
car?
until every single car has it, it's not gonna be, like, a real feasible thing.
How great would it have been during this pandemic too? We just having self-driving cars get food for us and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I mean and that's another thing, it would completely take out, like,
It'd kill so many jobs.
drivers.
Oh, as a job
Yeah.
specifically? You'd still probably need someone on the truck to do things like deliveries and stuff unless we get to a like to offload the stuff to another
Why?
vehicle? What do you mean why?
You have people at the places. You load it up at your factory, it's in the truck, and then it goes to the next factory, they take it off the truck.
You gotta know that no one ever truly trusts one person with one job. Like they want like two people to like do a handshake
Sure,
for something like
you have
this.
your 2 people at your factory, and then you send them off to your, partner factory, whatever, and then they get it. There's cameras on it.
And then all of a sudden, like the car, I don't know, something loses out. I mean, I guess if there's cameras on it, so no one can really steal stuff from the car without there being proof. I still feel like they would want someone along for the ride.
Car's got facial recognition, it's gonna know exactly who took it off the truck, and they're gonna sign it out with their.
When Hitler like breaks onto the food truck, I don't know. I always see there being some necessity in some degree. Say like because we both worked at Walgreens for a point, taking in shipments and stuff. You think that could be a totally manless process? Like, what if there are returns you have to throw back onto the truck, and then you have a conversation you have to have with the person?
100%,
What 100%?
100%. You don't need a person for that.
I don't think you do, but I feel like I've seen stupidity throughout my lifetime to a point where they'll fight hard to make
That's what
sure.
management is. Like, if you dispute with thing, then you can call a number, and then somebody will pick up, and you'd be like, "Hey, listen, the truck won't take my broken whatever the fuck.
Yeah, broken dildo.
I wanna take my broken dildo."
Yeah, the dildos are
It
3,000,
was
just like
broken in half, a 700-pound fat man sat on it, broken in half. Don't ask what he was doing with it. You really, really, really don't wanna know. Please take it back.
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, man. I don't know, I just feel like the car morality problem is so intricate, and yeah, I could see that.
Well, it's not even a car morality, it's the same question for everything. It's just, now it's a self-driving car, now I have to program something to make that decision.
So do you think that's always gonna be the decision play, it just has to be what saves the most amount of lives in whatever situation?
Yes.
Okay, so even, like, the car owner, like, because the pedestrian didn't choose for the car to malfunction and hit the pedestrian. See, the pedestrian is, like, completely in the right on the road, alright? Those people chose to get into the car. Pedestrian is just walking on the road, on the side of the road, on the sidewalk, just doing whatever he wants. All of a sudden, a car just like, 4 wheels fly off, and the car like does 12 flips and is about to hit the pedestrian.
It's the same thing for everybody else though. Like, sure, you chose to get in your car, but you didn't choose to be in an accident. That guy chose to walk down the street. He didn't choose to get hit by a car.
Yeah, but you didn't,
Like, shit happens, and
you still
somebody's
decide
gonna
to
get
be
hurt
in the
here.
car. Yeah, but you really think the car should choose the person on the road rather than the people who decided to buy the car?
Well, that's not always the question. Like, sure, there's a person in the road, but there's a person to your right too. Like, if you have to swerve out of the way and not hit the person in front of you, you can hit the car next to you.
No, just saying like one-to-one person, like person on the road, person in the vehicle, it's either hits a brick wall and kills the passenger of the car instantly, or it kills a person on the side of the road who literally did nothing wrong. He is just walking. His name's Tom. He's a really nice guy. He just came from church, and he was helping out a retirement community, and he saved like 12 orphans that day with nothing but his teeth
Yeah, but
and
the
a
guy's
razor blade.
broke. He can't afford a car.
He doesn't like to do it because it just contributes to fossil fuel emissions, and he just doesn't believe in it. He's actually just riding a bike safely because he believes in clean energy. Also, he's kind of a
Not
little
safe
fat.
enough.
He's yeah, safe. He's riding on the sidewalk very clear. He has his helmet, his L. He even has knee pads on too, and he's very safe. He does everything he should be doing at all points in
Well, then
time.
why is he in the way of this car?
He's not. The car just has a malfunction, and the car just barrels off to the side of the road, and it can either hit into a building right now, like an abandoned building, and just kill the passenger on impact, or it can kill poor Tom, who 12 orphans with nothing but a razor blade. Eric, like this guy's a saint.
If he drives
He's a
into the
nice
building,
guy.
that's gonna create more damage too. I mean,
He's a
that's
nice
that's
guy.
money that the town's got to pay, fix it up.
Uh, I I mean, does the town have to pay, or is the car company? That's a whole other thing too. Like, is the onus is on the car,
I don't
the
know, man, but
manufacturer
that's
of the
not
car?
it's not a realistic.
Do you put value? You can't put value on human life. Like, I mean, you can put value on human life, but it's a dangerous thing to do. Where you're like, who's more worth it? Like this brick wall or this dude? Like, yeah, sure, he's homeless and he's probably not contributing much, and this, wall's keeping up the side of this building. But
Well, then again, it becomes the case of the person in question.
uh-huh.
Like, if it's a death row inmate who's killed 75 people, has no remorse, and plans on killing more if he ever gets out,
Uh-huh.
then you're probably going to choose to kill that guy. But it's still a person. Now the car has the option. That person has killed more people, so based on the car's calculations, killing that person is better for society. Does it do it?
Probably not. You can't leave that in the decision of an algorithm and just like kill people off for the betterment of society, even if they
Says
are a
who?
shit person. It's just not that's not legal. That's not legally right. You can't just be like, all right, now we're fine with like essentially public execution by accident.
But it's legally right to choose which person dies.
Versus, I don't think you should ever choose.
All right. So your situation, right? The person's driving forwards. There's a building or there's a person that they're gonna hit, right?
Yeah,
Now their options are one person or a different person.
like the person in the car, or you mean
No,
like
no,
two
no.
people
There's
on the
there's
road?
two different people on the road
Uh-huh.
or on the sidewalk, whatever it is. How does it choose which one's gonna get hit?
That's the hard part. That's always like these questions are kind of like, yeah, in my logical, mind, it's like you kill the person who contributes less to society in theory.
Right, but again, so how does the car know that aside from facial recognition and constant tracking?
Constant tracking and facial recognition. I mean, there's no concrete way of having that. So what if they're, I don't know, I guess it's just gonna have to roll the dice or try to go somewhere in the middle.
So in like iRobot, I'm pretty sure they just choose like whoever has the highest chance of survival.
Oh yeah, yeah, technically. Yeah, I don't know. Is there really like, does like a young guy versus an old guy have a better chance if you're getting hit by a car like going 80?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you go towards the young guy might have quick enough reflexes and maneuverability to be able to dodge or at least minimize the damage.
I really don't think you
You can
could.
see it coming and go, "Oh no," and like maybe dodge half the way out of the way. It'll cut off your legs or something, but you'll still live. Versus the old guy, if the thing touches him wrong, he's dead.
The exhaust sneezes on him the wrong way.
Yeah, you can swerve and dodge him, and the exhaust will hit the guy in the face, and he'll cough and die from lung exposure. I don't know. Anyway, there's no real way to answer the question.
Sorry, it's too
It's an
hard.
impossible question.
It's possible. I thought the two smartest minds in all of YouTube and podcasting could possibly, finally solve this for the people who are really rooting for cars. But I guess
Oh,
it's just
did you
it's just
did you book them?
no, yeah, it's us. What do you
Oh,
mean?
oh, oh, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh.
Uh-huh. Don't you feel silly?
I feel so silly. You can't see it, but I'm smirking.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Did we do these situations justice, or do you think you have a suggestion for us in the future? If so, leave us a comment. If you made it this far, then please like, subscribe, ring the bell, join our Discord, check out our live streams on Twitch, or check out some of our other content on the screen right now. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.